Testing, testing. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing. Alright guys, people that are watching, what do you think about the audio? Good enough? Alright guys, people that are watching, what do you think about the... Hello everyone and welcome to TRL Turbo Racing League. Welcome to the first race of the season, the first race of the entire league. I hope that you will enjoy it. And boy, I am excited. As are the drivers. We've got a full grid, well, two drivers, Sebasaraya and Lebiscuit are both missing. I think they've been delayed, but they should be able to join in time for the race, but that will start them off in 19th and 20th. And Q1 has begun. Everyone's still in the garage, probably getting their wits about them, making sure everything's alright, doing their setups, checking fuel. And we have one driver already coming out. Two drivers are out. If the game would so glad. Oh, there we go. Oshar. Het, both out. I'm assuming for Q1 everyone will start on softs. Smartest strategy would be to start on softs, considering you just want to get into top 15, maybe take further laps as practice. Few people coming out on track for their outlap. Must say it's a beautiful day for racing. As Oshar now crosses the line, first person to start a lap in TRL on qualifying. And Canberg, no, this is not real world. It's amazing how far games have come, but no, this is not real world. This is TRL, Turbo Racing League. Now Usher does 16-3 in Sector 1 as he comes through the hairpin into the second DRS zone. MLT on his outlap. I don't think anyone else, I'm not sure if there's anyone else apart from Usher. Oh, there's Het. How's Het doing? He's in Sector 2. Going on strong. Now obviously this is the first race, so we have no idea about how good drivers are in terms of quality. It's only one tier, so probably the drivers, there might be a bit of a gap, but nothing we can really do about that. Het Boompi sets a 103.9. Usher, who I thought would be the first person to set the lap, I was wrong, sets a 105.2. Already big difference. Maybe Usher made a mistake during part of the lap. Or maybe it's just a skill level. As the Ruch comes through with a 104.6. A dude now coming through in Sector 3. We've got yellow flags, probably just the driver slowing down. Through the final corner, 10-10, crossed the line. 104.9, slots him into 4th place. So we're seeing a lot of we have 3 drivers, 104.6 and a 104.9. Could that be the average, the majority of the drivers? Could that be where they go? Faxan setting a strong Sector 2, 15.8. He could be fighting for provisional pole. As Usher comes around with a 1.4.0. Improving his previous lap time of a 1.5 point something. That is good stuff. Bashful Cloud, 1.19.3. I'm sure he'll be wanting to improve on that. Probably made a mistake somewhere along the lap. And Faxel now again coming through turn 10 onto the final straight. Or, well, main straight. 1.3.7, that is provisional pole. Would it even be called provisional pole? It's just Q1, but you know what I mean. Martins, well, I think Martins already set the lap. Well, the 2 Red Bulls, both of 1.4.6, very close indeed. Sonev with a 1.4.1. Now, 2 people I have raced with are Sonev and MLT, who set a 1.4.6, and I must say, they are both holding their own as I expected them to, but it will be interesting to see how they fare against the rest of the grid, as over half the drivers have now set a lap. Some of them are in their pits. Jamie's on his out lap, getting ready. Jai Fletcher, he's in Sector 3. Third, this man was fast, but his lap has been invalidated, so I have to go around again. Tan 1-2-1-2, strong Sector 2 again. Could he place himself into the top 5? And DMS Gessi, I really don't know how to pronounce his name, but he is one of the co-admins of TRL, so it'd be nice to see him near the top. Amir, B12 King, still in the pits. Andre on his outlap. Jamie Robertson, Sector 2. Wonder what he can pull off. Jai Fletcher. Still a bit under 12 minutes to go. Plenty of time for practice. Put in some laps. Get you into the top 15. It's already going to be pretty, well, not pretty easy, but easier, since, as I said, there are 2 drivers who aren't able to make qualifying and will join purely just for the race. As Jai Fletcher does go in pole with a 1.3.5, and it is getting tight at the top. But yeah, as it seems, the average 1.4.6, 0.7, 0.9, got a few. Then you've got the 0.0, 0.1, 0.2, and then you've got the people into the 103s. Bashful Cloud, 105, I think it was the guy that did like the 1.19 or something. He'll probably go out again, try to set an even better lap, because while as it stands he is in the top 15, I reckon that lap time will put him out of the top 15, so he really should get a move on, try his best to improve on that lap. Amir now on his out lap, getting ready. I think Sonev is... he seems to be going for another go. Or actually no, maybe just be an in lap, one out lap. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest. B12 King coming up to turn 3 after going past turn 2. What can this man do? Tan 1212 seems to be getting out of the way of people. Good job on him. As I don't see Geshi puts himself in 4th place, 1.3.9, a strong lap from him. Now I am curious to see where Amir will place as he comes through sector 2. Oh, that's a bit of a spin, will impact his lap time quite heftily. As I think that's B12 King right behind them. Are they both on hot laps? He could be... This is some interesting stuff. Hopefully he doesn't slow B12 King then. Although B12 King will get some nice slipstream, could improve his lap time off of it. B12 King laps invalidated, goes into the pits. Amir is valid. Don't know why he does not put on DRS. So maybe it's just the game that was showing me wrongly, and it seemed like he was doing sector 1, but I don't know. I think the game might be a bit confused, or Amir's just going round and round and somehow not setting a lap. He's been on outlet for quite a while. But yeah, the field is slowly starting to set itself out. Bashful Cloud going through sector 1. I think he'll be looking to improve his lap time. He is in 14th with 4 other drivers still needing to set their laps, so he is on the brink of elimination. Now we see Sonev putting in some practice. Oh, as I was speaking about him, he was in 7th, puts himself into 4th with a 1.3.8, a very good lap. But Jai Fletcher seems to be a slight cut above the rest of the grid at 2 tenths ahead of Faxan, set to 1.3.7. Andre 1.3.8, Sonev 1.3.8 as well, Geshi 1.3.9, and Het 1.3.9. Those make up the top 6. All into the 103s. Some good performances. Then we've got from 7th all the way down to 13th. Find themselves in the 104s. Amir's at the 107. Now I reckon that was the lap we were seeing before, where he had a bit of almost a spin, nearly saved, but could have cost him greatly. Or he's just saving up fuel or airs. See Amir going round. So the Bashful Cloud has retired from the session, and I wonder why that is. Could he have crashed out? If so, that will put him bang in 18th. Either way, that is interesting as Amir heads into the pits. I wonder if he can set a better lap time. He's got the time for it, but right now he is on the brink of elimination. Well, once B12 King and Jane Robertson and Tan all set their laps, Jane Robertson going into the pits and validated his lap time. He'll be needing more fuel. Tan is also still in the pits. B12 King, the game said he was on his outlap and he's entering the pits. An interesting decision. I wonder what that's for. Faxland is out. He's in 2nd place. Pro looking to get the final practices as he qualified. His lap time's a 1.3.6. There's a 10th between him and Jai Fletcher. Maybe he's wondering if he can lower that gap and maybe get an improved lap time as he does enter the pits. Be interesting to see Q2. Small lockup going into the pits. Don't want to get time penalty for that. Entering the pits at higher speed. see we've got the two AlphaTauris placing 8th and 9th. One of them entering the pits. Bit of an annoying pit lane to enter as Kangar hasn't validated this lap. Now Tan, he is on his out lap. He'll be looking. Tan, Jamie Robertson, B12 King will all be looking to set a lap time. They want to get out of the bottom, well, bottom 3. Normally it's the bottom 5, but out of the bottom 3. Considering there are 2 drivers absent, Bashful Cloud has retired. They will. All they need to do is set a lap, and only 2 out of the remaining 17 drivers will get eliminated from Q3, as Bashful Cloud will get eliminated as long as B12 King, Jamie Robertson and Tan all set a lap. Tan seems to be starting his lap, almost invalidated his lap through turn 1 as he comes up the straight into the first DRS zone. As he goes through turn 2, looking into the hairpin off turn 3, a crucial turn, getting a good exit from it, could gain you, potentially lose you a lot of time doing it wrong. As most of the field in the top 5, they're in the pits. As I say that, we see a Mercedes coming out. Or is that not a Mercedes? Sorry, that's a Williams coming out. Probably the one of Jamie Robertson. No, yeah, that was the one of Jamie Robertson. As he's exiting the pits, he'll be wanting to set lap. Only 4 minutes, or 20 minutes to go. And as I was saying, top 5 in the pits. Het is on an out lap. Maybe just want to see a better feel for his car, see what he can do, see if he can really push. As we got a new lap time from Kangar, puts him in 3rd place, 13.6. I am honestly very happy by this. There's a lot of close racing, especially between the top, which means that no one should run away with the league, which could prove for some even more exciting racing. As Amir is still in 16th, B12 King had invalidated his lap. Now that's bad, especially this late into the Q1. Invalidating your lap is the last thing you want to be doing. Will he have enough fuel for a second lap? Let's hope he does, or else it's out in Q1. Jim Robertson out in his out lap, about to start his proper lap. Same goes for Amir as they're rounding the final corners of the lap. Tan is in 14th, set the lap on 4.8. He is on the brink of elimination, so he'll probably be looking to set an even better lap. Can he do it? Round turn 10, comes through the straight, 1:4.7. Sorry, that's a dude's lap time. He got himself a 1:4.3, slots him to 10, should be more than enough to get him into Q2. As now, well, A-Dude seems to be on the brink of elimination, a 1:4.7, at 10th behind Martins, the Rue, and MLT, who are on 1:4.6s. They will probably be looking to go out again to make sure that they don't go out in Q1. B12 King coming through in sector 3 as he rounds corner 9, corner 10, down the last straight. DRS is activated, sets himself a 1:4.7. Now that is close. B12 King, A-Dude, both are 1:4.7s. Jamie Robertson 1:5.3, Amir 1:7.6. They'll be improving their laps. Now I thought if they just set a lap, that will place them automatically above Bashful Cloud, but apparently even though he retired, they still need to pass his lap time. So, as I say, that Jamie Robertson spins out. Crucial coming out of the hairpin. That's going to end his qualifying session. That will definitely eliminate him in Q1. Amir on an out lap. He needs to get a move on it. He'll be wanting to set another lap. A-Dude and B12 King both doing laps as Jamie Robertson comes off the grass. They'll be wanting to set laps, they'll be wanting to get into Q2, be off the brink of elimination. As MLT is in 12th. I think, yeah, as he goes for a new lap now, he'll be wanting to get the feel for the car one last time. try set a better lap. Maybe, go up with the rest of the grid, who won 4.3, won 4.2, won 4.0, be with the midfield. Seems to get a decent exit through the hairpin. Martins in sector 1 slightly improves on his delta. Now, Camberg has asked, why do laps get invalidated? Well, the reason is, normally it's because you go wide. Now, in real life, normally it's a lot more lenient, but in the game, if you put all 4 tires out, as Amir seems to be going really slowly, sorry for the thing, that will, as he enters the pits, that will definitely, well, I think he's going to enter the pits unless he's setting up for one final lap. As I was saying, if all 4 of your tires go off track, that will invalidate your lap, and you'll need to do another one. In real life it's a lot more lenient, but this is the game. As people will now be starting their final possible lap, with Q1 coming to a close, coming to an end. So most people are finishing off, and B12 King managing to try to set the final lap. As I see that, his lap is invalidated, so he's in P14, he'll be wanting to stay there. It's a risky position. A-Dude crosses the line, puts him in P12, that's good, 1.4.3 with the rest of the midfield, puts B12 King 14 at risk, as he definitely goes wide, but we already knew his lap was invalidated. Martins, 1.4.6, looking to improve his lap time, so he definitely doesn't fall out of Q2. But what they don't know is that Jamie Robertson is in the pits, can't set a new lap time. Amir is the only risk, as Bashful Cloud's retired, Jamie Robertson's in the pits. Those two will definitely be eliminated from Q1. Can Amir do anything to get himself into Q2? I don't know why the DRS is showing as if he's not using it. Maybe he actually isn't. That would be very weird, and I don't know why. Costs you a lot of time by not using DRS. B12 King entering the pits. His lap wasn't validated. Martins also entering the pits, as almost all drivers are done. Just leaves Amir to see if he can get into Q2. Come on. As he comes down through turn 9, through turn 10, into the top 15 he goes. And, well, that was anticlimactic. How's he already the game is glitching? Well, I think that's a no. I think that is a strong no, considering his lap is somehow still going. Yeah, the game has been glitching with Amir. I hope it's not any internet connection issues. I hope it's just some weird game issue. B12 King put in 4 laps, put him in 15th. He'll be wanting to improve on that in Q2. Sonev put in 5 laps, most of the session. As Jai Fletcher is currently in first, with 2/10 gap over second and third, which are Faxled and Kengar in the Racing Point and Alpha Tower respectively. Then we've got De Rouge in Red Bull with a 0.3 of Jai Fletcher, along with Andre, also 0.3 of Jai Fletcher, and that rounds up the top 5. Sonev 0.4, it finds himself in 6th place, also on the Racing Point. Mercedes and Racing Point looking like the 2 strongest constructors out there. And I have been informed that Bashful Cloud did indeed crash. Sorry to hear. That will put him as a bit of crumbling under pressure. I don't blame him. League racing, definitely you are under pressure at all times. You want to be performing at the best of your abilities, pushing the car. Makes it tough, definitely makes life hard for yourself, and he did crash. So that will put him at the back of the grid. I'd like to thank Joy for saying I've been doing a good job on comms. This is my first time on comms. as Head complained that he'd like a bit more screen time. Well, you were in the pits most of the time, mate. As Q2 is loading up and an exciting race is slowly being set up. Hopefully Seba Soraya, Lebiscuit, PS and MTPS code, hopefully they will be in time to join in the race. It is indeed a long loading time. Hopefully the lobby has not broken, because if it has, this is going to be rather problematic. Let's just give it some time for it to load. Hopefully it loads, because if not... Oh, it has loaded, it has loaded. This is good, this is good. Thank God. Everyone definitely now calming themselves down after having the worry that the lobby might have to be restarted or whatnot, since taking a long time to load. There have been connection issues with Codemasters lately. I've been in one league race myself, and I've heard from other admins of other leagues as well saying there have been connection issues, which is why we've sent out extra invites. Hopefully no one gets any connection issues, especially during the race, especially during the first few laps where it's the most chaos. Everyone's tight, racing together, as both Mercedes come out at the same time. And this is now interesting to note, because as we see, Jai Fletcher comes out on the mediums and Andre 19F1 comes out on the softs. Now, for the people watching that don't know, the tire your fastest lap is on in Q2 is the tire you will start with in the race, provided you are in the top 10, which will send you to Q3. And Jai Fletcher, considering the pace he had, would probably manage to start on mediums. Now you might be wondering, why would you want to start on mediums? Why not start on softs, have the most grip in the beginning of the race, try and make up positions from the start? And now while that's a viable, well, that is true. It's best to use the softs at the later stage of the race, where you have more open air, which means you won't be wasting your softs in the beginning of the race behind other drivers. You won't be being hung up trying to overtake, trying to defend. You can just use them in your own space, and then the occasional driver that you find in front of you, you get the overtake done with, and save even your defending in the end of the race, where you want to keep the position you're in, or keep the position you just overtake the guy in front of you for. You know, you'd be wanting to keep that position. With the softs, you've got the best chance of doing that. So it's interesting to see how many drivers will start out on the mediums. Obviously though, people that do start on mediums and are out of the top 10 will be looking to do a lap on the softs to get themselves inside the top 10. As we see, B12 King also started on mediums. Now I think that B12 King, considering his performance in Q1, will not manage to get into the top 10 with mediums. From last session alone we saw he only managed to get 15th with softs. But to each their own. Faxland on mediums, he's got a good chance of going into the top 10 on the mediums. Adune on softs, Martins on softs, Deirud's on softs. Most people have come out of the pits. Geshe on mediums, an interesting strategy. I'm not mistaken, he qualified 4th. As Jai Fletcher crosses the line, quick lap, 1.4.3. 1.4.3 on mediums. Now that is something. We saw many drivers, I think it was around maybe 7th, 8th onwards, that had qualified at 1.4.3s. And that was on softs. As we see now, MLT on softs qualifies just ahead of Jay Fletcher. Jay Fletcher looking extremely strong. Definitely a very strong league competitor. As we see, Usher has joined. Looks like a slight connection issues. Hopefully everything's okay. Usher and Amir, I'll send you both an invite, as it seems like we've had some connection issues. be sending both Usher and Amir multiple invites, so in case they have any more connection issues, hopefully they'll be able to use these invites and join from them. As now I get back to qualifying, Joy Fletcher finds himself in third. In first we currently have Sonev, who I think set the lap on softs, so 1.4.0, Tan 1.4.1 set the lap on softs, Deru 1.4.4, I think that was a lap on softs, Pale Drill 1.4.6, I'm guessing on softs, yeah definitely on softs, Geshi on 7th, 1.4.8, could get him into Q1, very risky, probably will want to set a lap on the softs, definitely get himself into Q1. B12 King, 1.5.6 on the mediums, he will most definitely be wanting to do a lap on the softs. Faxland, 112.5, now this is interesting, he probably made a mistake, somewhere along the laps, will be wanting to try again, as Osher is still having issues. As you can see, Osher having issues. Het gets a 1.3.7 on the softs, currently placed himself in provisional pole. Good lap from him. Interesting to see that, considering he was in, I think, the top 6, was it? He could have had a chance on the mediums, but then again, could have been a smart call to immediately go out on softs. As I saw a driver come out of the pits, Martin's on his out lap, A-Dude's still in the pits. Oh, coming out now, they'll be wanting to set a lap along with Anders on his out lap. Osher, who was having connection issues, I hope he managed to join now. I hope he'll manage to join, as Kenger is currently, I think, setting a lap. I just realized I have no detail. Forgot about that. Jai reporting that the mediums do feel bad, but he is slotted in third place, so I don't think he has much to complain about, but that could be an issue in the race. As Kenger invalidates his lap, who is on the mediums, and enters the pits. Still no signs of Usher. I hope he manages to join. Andre on the mediums. An interesting call from him. Along with A-Dude also on the mediums. Martins on softs. These are the 5 drivers that currently find themselves out of the top 10, out of Q3. Faxland on mediums, probably trying to set an even better lap, so he can, well, definitely, he has it in him. As B12 King's in the pit, probably will try to do a lap on softs. Geshi might also do a lap on softs. As Andre places himself in 7th with a 1.4.5 on the mediums. Again, might need to set a lap on the softs because he is in a very tight position. But the 1.4.5 is a pretty good lap on the mediums. Sonev on another out lap. Probably want to get even more practice for the race. It's Jai Fletcher still on the mediums. Don't know if that's a smart call. Since he'll be wanting to save tires. Now, I need to quickly send a friend request. Because apparently I didn't to one of the 2 drivers that I said still need to join. Sorry about this, guys. It is the first league race, so you know, not everything is fully set up. Okay, Seb Soraya, I have sent you the friend request. Now you'll be able to join as the Mercedes of Jai Fletcher does enter the pits. He's done 3 laps on the mediums, 5 laps if you include his out lap and in lap. Hopefully his tires aren't too worn unless he decides to go out on softs. Now I don't know why my screen is glitching out. Hopefully this fixes that. Good. Now Faxton finds himself in 11th. Still hasn't been able to set a good lap time on the mediums. Is he having a hard time with the mediums? Is he having a hard time with the car? Hopefully he gets it under control. Martin's in the pits. A-Dude on his out lap. Usher still having connection issues, but as I say that, apparently he's been able to get back in with 4.5 minutes left. He comes out of the pits. He'll be looking to set lap, get into the top 10. He has gone out on softs, no time to risk the mediums. Smart call from him. As Sonev, 1:3.7, that's the pace he was looking for back in Q1. He's found the pace now. That's what's put him 2/10 off Jai Fletcher. That top grid, the top 5, top 7 slots really starting to form together. Never mind. As we see Geshi on an outlap in the soft, smart call. He is on the brink of elimination along with B12 King, who apparently is still in the pits. He'll be wanting to come out to set another lap. Faxland enters the pits. Maybe he just was not liking the mediums, couldn't find the right flow. He'll probably be exiting out of the pits soon enough on softs as the games. Wow. Martin's still on his outlap. A-Dude coming through sector 2, 16.3 on the mediums. On the mediums being this late, if he doesn't get at least 8th, 7th place from these mediums, then it's going to be risky. As someone has set a lap, I think it was someone definitely set a lap, unfortunately. I don't know who, but they took B12 King out of the top 10, who did set a lap on the mediums, who is now out on softs. I think A-Dude set a lap. It's A-Dude that set a lap, I think, which placed him in 11th. With 3 minutes left, it's gonna be definitely hard to get himself into the top 10. Martin's somehow still on an outlap. This happened with Amir last time, where he was constantly on an outlap, so let's see what goes on with that. Oshar setting a lap, good to see him on the track. 50.9, very strong sector 2. He'll be getting himself into Q3. Unless something goes wrong in this last section of the lap. Faxlanders. What the hell? Okay. 2 AlphaTauris, they seem to be like placing close to each other, 5th and 6th, but as we saw, they had placed close to each other in the beginning of Q1 and then they separated, so we'll see how that works out. Daru in 4th is going for a lap on the softs again. Or maybe it was just some little added practice. Maybe it was the guy that did the lap now. DPS Code 02 has joined. He was one of the racers that couldn't make it for qualifying. So hopefully everything will be all good for the race, starting from P19 or P20. MLT couldn't really improve on his lap time, could be out of the top 10. It will be very, very close, as Tan also on track looking to improve his lap time. Osher put himself in 10th place. I thought he'd be able to get a faster lap time than that. On the brink of elimination, and an invalidated lap time as well. And considering you don't want to overfuel when you want to set these really fast, blisteringly fast lap times, that is not good. Sebasarai needs an invite to the session. I'll do that in a couple of minutes once Q2 is over, because I don't want to miss the end of Q2. Andre on an outlap on softs finds himself in 12th. He'll be wanting to set a lap on the softs. He's definitely got enough time to do so. He want to take himself into the top 10. A-Dude's in the pits. He won't be getting enough time to set another lap, so he is going to be... oh, well, no, he won't. I don't think he'll manage to make it with 40 seconds to go. But he can try. It'll be a valiant effort, that's for sure. B12 King on softs, finds himself in 15th. Jai Fletcher did the lap on softs, clearly said he wasn't liking mediums, puts himself half a second over the rest of the grid. It's insane stuff. B12 King crosses the line on softs, leaves himself in 15th. That'll be him getting eliminated out of Q2. Osher retired from the session. 11th place, probably crashed out. That's unfortunate from him after having connection issues. Now he's crashed out. Tan still in 10th place. Andre, can he send himself into the top 10 rounding? I think this is turn 4 in sector 2. As most of the rest of the grid are ready from their lap times. Osher eliminated for sure. Martin also on an outlap, but he isn't validated his lap. He will be getting eliminated from Q2. A Dude finished. He'll be getting eliminated from Q2 along with B12 King. Andre, can he send Tan 12-12 out of... Will he put Tan 12-12 into the elimination zone? Crosses the line, puts himself in 2nd place. A very strong performance from the Mercedes. Still half a second down from his teammate Jai Fletcher, but an insanely quick lap time. And that puts Tan 12-12 out of Q... Well, it puts him Tan 12-12 into the elimination zone of Q2. MLT just barely scraping on into Q3. Yeah, dude, it is unfortunate that you went out a bit too late. But hey, you learn from that mistake. Set yourself in 14th. Could do a 14th podium as Chai. Yeah, an absolutely flying lap time from him. We see strong performances from the 2 Mercedes, from the 2 Racing Points. The 2 AlphaTauri is also there, and we've got the last remaining Renault, Red Bull and Williams to finalize the top 10 into the first race of Tier 1 of TRL. Yes, indeed, Mercedes 1-2. Basically real life. This is brilliant stuff. Coming from a Ferrari fan, I am not enjoying the 1-2 performance from Mercedes. Not one bit. As Q3 has begun, I need to invite final 2 drivers that will join in the race. I've invited the final 2 drivers, DPS Code and Sebastoraya, as we have the first taker for Q3, Faxland on softs, as expected. The only aim of Q3, get the fastest possible lap time that you can. It's one goal only. Andre also out, Jai Fletcher also out. Rest of the grid inside the pits. As I say that, we have 2 more drivers. The other Racing Point in Sun F coming out of the pits, and one of the AlphaTauris in Kenger coming out of the pits. Rest of the grid still in the pits, getting ready for Q3. Maybe giving some time so they don't bunch up with the rest of the field. As Jai Fletcher will be looking to get pole position after seeing 2 very strong performances in Q1 and Q2. It's Jai Fletcher about to cross the line to start his first lap in Q3. Andre also starts his lap. Faxland also starts his lap. As we see Jai Fletcher coming through the hairpin, had a bit of a almost spun out there out of the hairpin. That will impact his lap time, but he'll probably be able to make it up during the rest of the lap. Head bumpy on his outlap, letting drivers past as he should. Good stuff from him. Faxland coming through down into turn 4. A tough corner if you're not really sure what you're doing, but can gain you a lot of time. Andre invalidated his lap. That's not real good. Sonev trying to put in the best of a performance as he can as he rounded turn 4, coming through turn 5 now. You want to be careful not to touch the grass, not touch the gravel, and get widest possible entry. Keep it nice and steady. Jai Fletcher sets a 1.3.1. Not as good as his Q2 performance, but still insanely good. And he's on provisional pole. Faxland, 1.3.5, finds himself in second. Andre, we're going for another lap. Sonev now comes through the back straight, crosses the line, puts himself in second, a 1.3.4. This man has been constantly improving his lap time, but still finds himself a good 3/10 off Jai Fletcher. Head bumpy now invalidated his lap time. Not that great from him. He'll be wanting to definitely improve on that as quickly as possible. You don't get a lot of time in Q3, so yeah, you really can't afford making mistakes. KCDB, fellow co-admin, is still in the pits. Still in the pits. Pale Drill comes through turn 10, goes wide, invalidates his lap time. How unfortunate on the final turn. He'll be looking to go again. Kenger now 15.8 in sector 2, very strong, but it seems to be invalidated as well. People really pushing here, really trying to get the best lap times they can. And while on the rest, Geshi 1.3.7 put himself in 4th, Deru 1.4.3 in 5th. And Andre now manages to settle lap 1.3.7. So Jai Fletcher still finds himself on provisional pole, as KCDB still in the pits. Head Wumpy is looking now, did not enter the pits, so he thinks he's got enough fuel to make do for another strong lap. Comes through turn 1 now. He'll be looking not to invalidate this time around. Alice along with Pale Drill, along with Kenger, who is in the pits. He'll probably be coming out as we see the Racing Point in the background coming out. Head Bumpy now coming through turn 3 out of the hairpin. Good exit. Very, as I said, doing the hairpin wrongly will cost you a lot of time, considering this back straight, how long it is, you know, DRS as well. It would be interesting. Jai Fletcher has left the session. I hope he's not having connection issues, but then again, considering his time, I mean, he's probably going to be provisional pole and get pole position anyway. As Het, the game seems to be glitching on his lap in the top right. Actually no, never mind, I'm just saying wrongly. As he comes through turn 10, not invalidate his lap time, crosses the line, gets a 1.3.6, a strong lap, places him in 4th place. KCDB on his outlap, Pale Drill in pits, Kenger coming out of the pits. They'll be both looking to set lap times along with KCDB. And Jai Fletcher is having connection issues, and will he want to get them sorted as soon as possible, or else he won't be able to start the race, and that is problematic. Not to mention, he can't defend his pole position. I'm gonna try and fight him. Hopefully it works. I can't invite him. Oh no. Oh no. Well, this is Interesting. We could always restart the yeah, it's probably what we'll do. We might have to restart the lobby with 2 custom grids. KCDB now, coming through Sector 3 invalidated, it's lap time. He'd be looking to do another lap as we're almost under 4 minutes 30 seconds left in the session. Pale Drill on his out lap. Kangar coming through Sector 2, 16.12. KCDB starting another lap, comes through turn 1. Deru in the pits, Geshi in the pits, Andre in the pits, Het in the pits, Sonev in the pits. Faxland coming to do another lap, will be looking to take pole position off Jai Fletcher, who's having connection issues and can't rejoin. He is on the PlayStation 5, which is probably the main reason why. As KCDB, according to the game, said the fastest Sector 2. If that is true, he will probably find himself very high up the grid. As he comes to rounding turn 10, almost invalidated his lap time. That was very, very risky. Puts himself in 7th place. Decent performance, considering this is one of his least favorite tracks. He's been doing quite well for himself. As the rest of the grid inside, we're entering the pits, which leaves Deru on his out lap, Pale Drill rounding in Sector 2. I think this would be like around turn 6. Actually, no, I think that was turn 8 actually, my bad. Comes through turn 9, through turn 10, back straight, main straight, DRS enabled, crosses the line, 8th place, 1.4.2. Duro currently set the slowest lap to 1.4.3. He'll be looking to change that. Kangar in the pit still. Hasn't set a lap time yet, been validating. And it will look like that since Jai Fletcher has been having issues and can't reconnect due to some PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 I can't remember how to pronounce this word. For some compatibility issues. Jesus. We'll probably have to set up a new lobby with custom grids, and then we'll get the race underway. As Deru is on his lap. Rounding turn 4 through turn 5. And most of the grid has found its position as we enter the last places, the last time section of this race. As Kangar is on his outlap again, we see Deru rounding turn 9, rounding turn 10. On the main straight, DRS enabled, crosses the line. Can't improve on his lap time, unless it was an outlap, and I've been making a mistake again. Kangar on his outlap, Pale Drill invalidated his lap time. KCDB in the pits, Geshi coming through Sector 2, looking to improve, get into the top 5. Andre on his outlap, Het rounding turn 10, but it is invalidated, so he'll be looking to set another lap time if he's got the fuel for it. Hope he does. Sonev on an outlap, Faxland output, and Jai still in the pits because, well, connection issues. Pale Drill invalidated. Deru comes through Sector 2. Can he, as Geshi places himself in 2nd, from 6th to 2nd, a good bump. That was some good driving from him. 1.3.4. and Het will be looking to follow suit and improve on his lap time. According to the game, that's the best sector 2, but the game's been saying a lot of that, so I don't know if it's true. KCDB seemingly down in 7th place, along with Pale Drill in 8th. Het coming round 10-10. DRS wide open now. Puts himself in second, 1-3.3, excellent stuff. And we saw Kengor in the background also finish his lap, put himself in 7th place for the Alpha Tauri. That knocked KCDB down 1 peg. Daru is in 10, 1-4.3. He won't be able to set a better lap time as it is invalidated. Andre looking one last time to set a better lap time, put himself into the top 5. Coming down onto the main straight, can he do it? Yes he can, places himself in 3rd, 1-3.3, just barely. Puts the Racing Point of Faxland in 4th, of Sunev in 6th. These were 3 and 4 last time round, now they find themselves in 4th and 6th. The 2 Mercedes, qualified 1, 2 and Q2, now find themselves in Q3, separated by the Williams of Het. As the McLaren of Geshi is in 5th, Alpha Tauri of Kenger and Pale Drill 7th and 9th respectively, a Renault of KCDB in 8th, and the Red Bull in 10th. And that is the first ever qualifying of TRL done. Now unfortunately we can't go straight to the race due to issues, which is why we'll be setting up a new lobby. As Het says, he feels like Max Verstappen splitting the marks, as he should be feeling a strong lap time from him, only 1/10 off Jai Fletcher, who sure had half of the session not being available to race. It is what it is. Now this is what I was worried about, you know, we start seeing over a second gap between 9th already from 1st and 9th and 10th, as people are rightly doing, leaving the session. I will make an announcement for that, as we need to let Jai join, and for that we need to make a new lobby. Unfortunate for us. That we have to redo the lobby, but it is what it is. Interesting to note, Pumpier means little tree, so the little tree seems to have evolved into the big tree, and splitting the marks. Until 10, I mean, not much I can show you. And apparently the race was going to be in the dry, which is good. We'll have even harder racing, and it's good to know, as you know, from the commentary box. I wouldn't know the weather forecast, but the drivers do. Apparently it was going to be light clouds. How fascinating. As the invite's starting to come through, everyone, please join. The invite has been sent. And we have found the reason why Joy Fletcher was having an issue with invites. His privacy settings were set to not accepting invites. Brilliant stuff, really, but hey, at least now I won't have any issues for the race. Three people left to join. Again, please choose the same cars that you were in. 50% race distance, custom grid, equal car performance for a crucial safety car, and everything else seems good to go. As everyone is starting to load into the lobby. I think we only have one. I think we have two drivers missing. Still left to join. Lobby is being set up, you know, changing track, making sure everything is being set up properly, as we are in Austria. Assists seem to be looking good. Only one driver apparently still left to join. Now hopefully Geshi did set up the lobby properly. In terms of the grid, as people are set where they actually qualified for. And yes, this is something I need to note. We can't set the custom lobby yet. To make an announcement for this, because it is very, very important that drivers in the top 10 must start on the same tire that they qualified in Q2, as that's the tire they will be starting on. I think everyone did qualify on softs in Q2, but I just wanna make sure. As Paul has joined, a fellow friend of mine. We were indeed. Guys, I'm gonna give 2 more minutes for you all to join, or 3 more minutes at 07. As we have one driver left to join. Then the Amir, the fellow Haas member, along with Osher. Taking a look at the nationalities, we've got some very varied grid. Actually, a lot of Dutch, but quite varied indeed. Surprisingly, I don't think, apart from Jamie Robertson, I don't think there is a single driver in the UK. Got an Australian, probably driving upside down. And I need to find one quick thing, because apparently we are TRL. So setting up the custom grid, taking its bit of time. Yes, people watching, please be patient. This is our first time not only running League, but unfortunately the first time we also had to do a custom grid. But we have to be patient. We want to get this race underway as much as you guys do. Until we start though, let's discuss with the strategy, what the drivers will do. They'll probably be looking... Actually, I'm not too sure of the strategy. I think it will be a one-stop mediums to hards. I mean, it's the most common strategy in 50% races on the F1 game. But considering safety cars, you know, late safety car could always change strategy. You could see people entering for softs, depending especially on the time they have two drivers behind them. Austria, track where you can push a lot, but leaves you open for getting warnings and time penalties for going wide and off track. So we'll have to see how that fares. Yes, drivers should know that they should also do the setup, I will announce that. Apparently drivers are now getting the green flag to ready up the grid and everything should be set. Hopefully everything works smoothly, everything is fine. I wish all the drivers the best of luck. As Geshi's saying, choose the right tire, don't forget your setup, race hard, race clean, but always leave the space. 4, 3, 2, 1. As the race will now start to be underway, supposedly the drivers will first do the formation lap, and then we'll get the 5 red lights. Lobby still loading in. Hopefully no issues, because setting it all up again would be annoying. Lobby is loading. The map seems to have loaded, as all the drivers will start to load in. It's been a lot of loading. As I said, Codemasters have been having a bit of connection issues, which does get in the way of this league racing. Session starts in 6 seconds. Almost all the drivers have readied up. I hope everyone is ready to go, because they'll be wanting to warm up their tires on the formation lap. No formation lap, I think. Oh yes, formation lap. Good. Just as I expected and wanted. Now it will be crucial for everyone to warm up their tires properly, get a good start. You may see the 2 Alfa Romeos starting at the back after not being able to join in qualifying. They'll be looking to pull off some miracles. Amir 18th, Jamie Robertson 17th for the Williams, Bashful Cloud 16th for the Ferrari, B12 King in 15th, A-Dude 14th, Martins finds himself in 13th, Usher in 12th for the Haas, and Tan in 11th, both Ferraris out of the top 10. We find Daru in 10th for Red Bull. As the predicted pit stop strategy, could go from softs to mediums, could go softs to hards. Definitely be interesting what people choose. Could go mediums to softs, probably optimal. So Pedro in 9th, KCDB in 8th. He might be looking to hold up the pack a bit. And as I was saying that, the Haas of I think it's Usher, it seemed, that was holding up the pack a bit. As of Renault goes off track in the formation lap, 2 people have been disqualified from the formation lap. It's fine. They should be fine for the race start. And as I was saying, we've got Pedro in 9th, KCDB in 8th, Kenger in 7th for the AlphaTauri, Sonev in 6th for the Racing Point, Geshi 5th, Faxlin 4th, Andre 3rd, Het in second, and Jai in first, as the drivers are slowly coming up to their grid slots. I wish all of the drivers luck. And boy, this is going to be a good one. 36 laps of the Austrian Grand Prix. As we wait to see the lights. Green flag has been waved. Don't know where the lights are. Where are the lights? Is it? Green flag's been waved for a good 20-30 seconds now. Drivers are still on the grid. Everyone should be... wonder what's going on. This is interesting. What has happened? I think... oh no, no, no. Oh, we've got the lights. We've got the lights. 5 red lights. I don't know what had happened. It's lights out, and away we go for round 1 of TRL. As Jay gets away well, Het not so much. Faxon manages to get up 1 place. Andre drops multiple places, finds himself 7th. As the 2 Racing Points crash and spin, one of them goes out. What a bad start for the Racing Points. Geshe looking to make a move on Het if he could get the slipstream right into the hairpin. As actually, never mind, it's a VSC. Faxland finds himself in 20th and Sonev in 18th after crashing. As, oh my word, chaos from the start. A good start from Martins, goes up 6 positions. Andre lost 3 positions. Paledriel also good start from him in 4th. Same for Kengar in 3rd, and DMX Deshi goes up 2 places. The 2 Racing Points, oh no for them. That they will not be enjoying that. They've probably got front wing damage. They will be needing to pit, ruining their strategy. As Amir is up into 6th. Up 6 places, along with Jamie Robertson. Sebi, good start for the Alfa Romeo, up 5 places. KCDB went down 7, horrible start. Maybe he got involved in the Racing Point crashes. As Amir, did I just see a driver get spun out? It might have been some contact. Amir in 6th. Sorry, Amir up 6 places. We see people entering the pits. Jai Fletcher dropped down 3 places. Hetz in 1st, Geshe in 2nd, Kengar in 3rd. They're all close by each other, 2 wide. Look, and Geshe makes it almost 3 wide as they go into the hairpin. Het blocked the inside line. Geshe looking for the switchback to get the place on Het. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. DRS is not enabled yet. He's going to be looking right and left. Goes down the inside of Het. Gets the move done and done. I see Geshe puts himself into 1st place. Jai Fletcher close behind of Het. We've got Leo flags still. Somehow I think the game might be having some issues. But anyway, Het side by side with Geshe. This is some good racing from the lads. Geshe manages to keep the car in 1st. Lower down into the field, we see Martins. We see Martins in 7th, up 6 places. Jake Robertson also up 6 places. And I want to see back how... look at all the drivers. They are close up together. The top 5 drivers all very close of each other. Then Martins is 3 seconds behind, Tan 4 seconds. Robertson apparently just made the move on Sebi. As we have a fight, 2 Alfa Romeos neck and neck, down into the hairpin. Sebi trying to make a move on Bashful Cloud. Gets it done. Sorry, not onto Alfa Romeos. That was my bad. Well, Alfa Romeo and Haas, Jake Robertson and Sebi Debi fighting it out as one of them touches the grass. The Alfa Romeo of Sebi Debi touches the grass as Jake Robertson goes by in the Williams. And back up here into the top 5. This is intense racing. Getchy still holding up the field in first. Bumpy in second. Fletcher, who's come first in Q1, Q2 and Q3, will be looking to win this race. Only 3 tenths behind second. Pale Drill, good start from him in 4th place. And Andre in 5th. They are all very tight. Sonev already finds himself in 13th. Oh, well, I say 14th as Daru makes... The game is glitching out on me. Thanks, game. Tan has been disqualified for ignoring a drive-through penalty. Well, that is unfortunate for him. I don't know what's happened there. Geshi, I missed that. Sorry, lads. He's in second, but he's gonna look to make a move round the outside on Het. Het, I think, locks up there, and Geshi almost gets moved on. They're still side by side. Through turn 5, I think. Now we're going through turn 6. Manages to get the inside line. Can block Het off. It does so indeed. And now Het won't be able to go around the inside. Now Austria is a short track. All those early pit stops could make people get lapped. The 2 Haas's find themselves in 18th and 19th. Faxons is the fastest lap on the new mediums that he put on after his incident with Sonev. Will be needing to see what happened back there later on in the race. Sketchy's in first, and that is 16th. That is DPSCO. That is the Alfa Romeo already being lapped, probably due to some incidents that happened early on, or you know, just the skill level is just so varied. Sonev has left the session. Why? I don't know. If it's connection issues, it's one thing. If he did it out of rage, that's another. As Andre Pedril, 3 wide, 2 wide, almost made it 3 wide. As Mercedes and the Haas touch a bit, few lockups, and Andre manages to hold 5th place. And Pedril in 4th, not far behind as Pedril makes a nice move past Andre. This has been some good close racing. Well, minus the start, that was a bit iffy, but the rest of this has been very close, very intense. The top 3 still fighting it out. Andre not far behind. And Geshi still in first. Het Bumpy got a time penalty that will impact him later on in the end of this race. And Jai Fletcher goes side by side now with Het. Can he get the move done? Down the inside he goes, gets the move done. He'll be looking to overtake Geshi now. DRS has been enabled 3 laps ago. I forgot to mention that. Lap 3, DRS gets enabled. You can use it in the DRS zones if you're within 1 second of your opponent's head. And we see Jai Fletcher using the power of DRS to get past Geshi down the inside. But Geshi will be looking to fight back on the outside as they come side by side. Tan's left the session, makes sense. He was DQ'd. But Jai Fletcher, who had the DRS, manages to hang on into first place. Sebi, an amazing start for the Alfa Romeo. As we say that, Jay Robertson spins out. I'm not sure if there was some slight contact there. It is hard to get moves done at the hairpin sometimes without crashing out. But as I was saying, the 2 Alfa Romeos find themselves in 6th and 7th. Maybe it's from people needing to pit early due to all the collisions and stuff in the beginning. But either way, a strong start for them. As Martins is in 5th. 7 seconds behind the top 4. I reckon a lot of people have pit. As Jai Fletcher sets the fastest lap, and now finds him. This is the pure speed of Jai Fletcher as we see Geshi get past Het. He's already slowly starting to pull away as Het is looking to make a move on the inside with Geshi. Can he get the move done after the long straight? Geshi is able to remain in the lead. And you just see Andre behind him, biding his time, wanting to pounce on a mistake that one of the 2 drivers between Het and Geshi could make, as Het looks down the inside in turn 4, locks up again. He's been locking up quite a bit through turn 4. Still side by side, him and Geshi. Andre still spectating from the backpack there as Geshi now gets the move done. Still is in second, but Het comes back again down the inside, can't get it done, has to back out. Geshi getting a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. That'll put him and Het around the same, assuming they both got 3-second time penalties. And oh my word. Whew, this has been an intense 7 laps. Still 29 laps left to go. Jai Fletcher 2.5 seconds out of DMS Geshe. He'll be looking to win the race now. But Het still very close on Geshe's tail. Same with Andre. As Geshe now side by side. Once again with Het. Het uses DRS, gets past Geshe. And Andre now comes through the middle, gets past Geshe. Can he go round the outside? Get past Het. No, he can't, but he'll make it side by side now. Through turn 3, he'll make it side by side for turn 4, but Het has DRS and Andre doesn't, so that will impact him quite a bit. Geshe looked to make it 3 wide for second, couldn't get it done. Both drivers lock up into turn 4, and that leaves Het with second, Andre with third, who's been slowing, binding his time. Doesn't even have a time penalty yet, and Geshe in fourth. Jai Fletcher slowly pulling away between his raw pace and these 3 drivers, just, you know, constantly trying to overtake and defend, not leaving much room for themselves to catch up. And Martin's in 8th, I think he's lost a second overall. Sebi, the Alfa Romeo, finds himself in 6th. Pedrill in 7th, he had the better start now. Something might have happened as they go side by side now. The AlphaTauri, sorry. I think I'm honestly a bit confused because there's so many people being lapped and unlapped. It's a bit hard to tell like who's meant to be fighting who and who isn't, as most of the drivers do have time penalties. As we see now, Andre looking to use the DRS to go down the inside of Het, but doesn't have enough space for it. He was too far behind, but now he will be, as Geshe. Wait, there's a racing point. That's one of the lap racing points in between the well, second, third, and fourth. He'll be looking to get out of the way. He is a blue flag being waved, as many drivers are looking up into that corner. But Het manages to keep second place. And I was saying, look at this. There's the AlphaTauri of Pedrill and the Haas of Usher or Amir seemingly fighting along with Pedrill when they should just let him go. As there's now Bashful Cloud in 8th, Kenger in 9th, B12 King and Jamie Robertson. I was going to say they're fighting it out, but Jamie Robertson just pitted. But most drivers seem to be quite far from each other. Many maybe from the incidents or just skills. They find themselves quite dispersed out, which really and truly only leaves a battle between Het, Andre, and Geshe. They'll be looking to fight for the 2 remaining podium spots, as Jai Fletcher still looking strong in first, hasn't gained more time more than third, and DPS Code has retired from the race. Oh yeah, which means he probably crashed out. In fact, there is a VSC. It's a shame I didn't catch that. KCDB is currently in 10th, slowly making ground back up after being involved, I think, in some incidental contact as he moved far down in the beginning of the race. VSC still going on. Now hopefully once the remainder of the grid starts pitting, you know, the midfield will start closing up, as we see at least Adu, the second of Faxland, Faxland was a strong competitor, as we see B12 King needing to change his front wing. Faxland was a strong competitor in qualifying. Racing is back on, we see. Oh, no, that's a shame. Het has spun out. Looks like he had a bit of contact with whilst trying to get the move done. I think it was on Andre, as we see Jai's pit. And now Het gets back on the track, still in third. Het was disqualified from the session. That is a shame. He had such a good race going for him. Yeah, that is such a shame. As we see, Geshe and Williams go side by side, but should let him through. Unfortunate for Het, the game registered his spin as blocking the pit lane. That's very unfortunate. Blocking the pit exit. Got DQ'd for that, which is very unfortunate because he spun out. Nothing could have done about it. And that is a big shame. Complete bullshit. Andre is in first, 2 seconds of Geshi. I wonder if Geshi had some front wing damage. Jai Fletcher, 3-second time penalty. He'll be looking to make a move on Martins, maybe not in this straight, but in the DRS straight to follow. It's Jai Fletcher. Goes side by side with Martins. Slightly ahead of him as we see the McLaren on the racing point as well, going side by side as Jai gets the move done. Martins on the switchback gets the pace to make the overtake, and we see Sonev and B12 King. Oh, this is 4 wide now. There's 2 different battles going on as the racing point of Sonev makes a big mistake, goes into, I forgot who was facing with, but he gets in the way of also the McLaren that was there, which is just not great. And apparently Tan got DQ'd for also stupid reason. Apparently he had to go wide on turn 1 and the game told him illegal overtake, which is fair enough, and he tried to give it back and couldn't, and he got DQ'd. Unfortunate stuff according to the game. Pit window is now open, but honestly the pit strategies have just been so varied due to all the contact. The game's just off as Jai Fletcher gets moved on Martins, puts himself back into third as he did pit. He'll be looking to go to the end of the race, probably on those mediums. Kenger in 8th, he'll be looking to get moved on Bashful Cloud for 7th place, sorry. As there's also, well, there's a card of Bashful Cloud. It's a Haas, and well, he's a blue. There's the blue flags being waved. He should be moving out of the way for Bashful Cloud and for Kenger. He seemingly does, but he should be letting Kenger go past now. He doesn't really, and the Bashful Cloud, so he has to go wide. And the Haas is still racing alongside him as if it's his fight, and now Bashful Cloud can't go down the inside because there's one of the 2 Haas's blocking him off. And that lets Kenger get the move done, but that's, either way, that's just unfortunate for Bashful Cloud and just bad driving from one of the Haas's, and that could be taken up in the instance later on. As we see, most of the drivers quite dispersed. You know, we've got 4 seconds between Andre and Geshi. Most drivers have time penalties. 11 seconds, Martins off Geshi. Sebi doing strong for the Alfa Romeo, finds himself in 4th. And now I'd like to take a bit of a look at pit stops. So Sebi still needs to stop, finds himself in 4th along with Martins, Geshi and Andre. Pale Driel and Jai have already stopped. Jai Fletcher was leader of the race. He'll probably get the lead once the rest of the grid in front of him do pits. Bashful Cloud, the other thrower, still needs to make a stop. And so many varying strategies. We see drivers at the back, B12 King, Sonev, Teru making multiple stops, couple of stops, probably having to fix their front wing from contact. As Andre goes into the pits, puts Geshi in first. Probably Martins will also get past him. Yeah, as Martins now gets past Andre, is coming out of the pits. Sebi Debi 2 seconds behind Andre, but he's got some old tires still on the softs. He'll be looking that wants to just use 1 stop. As we see Jai and Pale Driel go side by side, but Jai manages to get moved on. I think Pale Driel hasn't stopped yet, so could be why he also got past a lot easier. Oh no, Pale has also stopped, but he's on the mediums, and Jai's on the mediums, sorry, and Pale Driel's on the softs, but Jai has just so much raw pace, it's a bit hard to catch up with him. Andre 1.3 seconds away from Martins, as there's the McLaren of B12 King in between him and Martins. He'll be needing to get past. Good driving from McLaren, seeing the blue flags being waved. Let's Andre get past. As Geshi pits, he's coming out of the pits, drops down to 4th, 5th, He'll come out in 5th, but he'll be looking to use the RS and get past Pale Drill, as now the top grid slowly starting to form back together now that pits and everything is slowly forming, strategy slowly coming to a close. As we see Andre looking to get a move past Martins down the inside. I don't know why the game is constantly saying yellow flags, by the way. That's probably just a glitch of the game, as Andre gets moved down on Martins. Jai Fletcher slowly making his way towards the top 2. Padriel the second behind Jai Fletcher. And Martins now second behind Andre. Andre quickly pulling away from the man in the Red Bull seat. Skeshi only half a second away from Padriel. He'll be looking to get the move down with DRS, maybe on the straight or the straight afterwards. And it's been an unfortunate race for Sonev as Geshi gets past Padriel. Unfortunate race for Sonev. He's been a good driver, you know. He was qualified in the top 6. He had a strong chance for a podium. He's crashed twice. KCDB in 8th, but more importantly, Padriel, well, probably looked to get a move on Geshi, just couldn't have the speed for it. Jai Fletcher already made up that 3-second gap that he had. He's only 2 tenths away off Martins. He's gonna get that move. He'll be looking to get that move done. Oh, maybe by this corner. No, he backed out of it. He'll be looking to do it on the next straight though. Wait, he actually did get the move down on that corner. The camera didn't show it for me. That's unfortunate, but he did get the move down as Mercedes on a 1-2. Jai Fletcher 4 seconds away off Andre. He'll be closing that gap as quickly as he can, because Martins is going to use DRS to try hold on to Jai as much as he can and get away from Geshi, who also has DRS on himself. Padriel only less than a second away as well from Geshi, as the top 4, well sorry, 2nd to 5th again are fighting it out, battling it out. Martins tried to make a move on Fletcher, couldn't get it done. There was contact made between Geshi and the AlphaTauri of Padriel. We see Geshi's wing on top of him. That's unfortunate. He'll be needing to pit. He will be needing to pit. That's such a shame. He'll be needing to pit. Probably Softs probably won't even last until the end. He was having a good race going on for him. Could get to podium position, but he'll be needing to pit. As you can see, he's already struggling with grip. Closest battle right now, battle for 9th, Axland and Bashcloud, Racing Points, and the Ferrari, who are side by side, and Bashful Cloud spins. There might have been some slight contact. Spadel gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. It's unfortunate for Bashcloud. That might have been the fault of Faxland, as Geshi had to pit from the contact made. It's unfortunate, and I think almost every single driver does indeed have a time penalty, as Sebi gets past Geshi due to the extra pit stop and finds himself a Haas once again in front of him. Hopefully the Haas doesn't put up a fight, because he's just 4 laps down, or if it's like he's just completely far behind. And really no battles going on, apart from Faxland looking to make a move on KCDB. Couldn't get it done into the hairpin. Fighting now. Actually got it done into the hairpin, as Faxland is ahead and also has DRS. That's going to make it annoying for Kieran. KCDB will be looking to go now down the inside, but couldn't get it done. Faxland looks up, could have given KCDB some front wing damage, and Faxland will probably pull away now. But we really don't have any action going on now, as drivers are really starting to separate. KCDB already out of the DRS zone as he pits. Probably was holding up Faxland for as long as he could before he pitted, and will be looking at Geshi to see if he manages to climb back into the podium position. He's got time till the end of the race, still 16 laps to go. He's got a lot of pace behind him, he could get it done. As Jai Fletcher hasn't caught up to Andre yet, that's interesting to note. Maybe he's conserving his tires, who knows. Geshe still 2 seconds away off Sebi in the Alfa Romeo, who started in 20th. Sebi's done an incredible job today, finding himself in 6th place. And he has everyone, all drivers have basically stopped except for Martins, who goes in now. Oh wait, as I see, Kenger has spun of the AlphaTauri, and the AlphaTauris had such a good race going on for them. They were in 4th and 5th, and that's going to lose Kenger a lot of time, as he'll be needing to pit again for a new front wing after that. As we see in the McLaren, going wide into the grass, probably to let the AlphaTauri go past. As Geshe got past Martins from the pits, and he'll be hoping that the Haas will let him through once the time comes. Sebi, less than a second away off Kenger after his spin and the front wing damage. It's a shame because he spun right after pit entry, so he has to go a full lap now with some severe, seeming like, front wing damage. But he can't get, still with the DRS, he couldn't get close enough to Kenger. As we see the McLaren of Geshe going side by side with Kenger through the corner, as they're going into turn 8 now. Sorry, that was turn 9. Gets the move done as Kenger goes into the pits as he needed to due to the front wing damage. And Geshe now finds him less than a second away off Sebi, the Alfa Romeo. We see KCDB in 11th, getting past Jamie Robertson. I'm assuming there's some pit stop or something involved. Kenger going down because of the pits, and Geshe gonna use DRS to close the gap between him and Sebi. It's Jai Fletcher, 2.5 seconds away from Andre, slowly catching up. Geshe still 6/10 off. If he drives through sector 3, the following sector 1 and the following sector 2 well, he could get the move done on Sebi, especially since he'll have DRS to his advantage. Through turn 10, flings up DRS. Now probably won't be, I will be using this DRS to get closer to Sebi, and now he'll be using this DRS zone to maybe either get the move done on Sebi or set him up well for the hairpin. And it seems like, as he tries to go around the outside, actually he didn't have much room for it. He goes wide in fact, and he couldn't get the move done. As we see Martins now in 6th place, close behind the two drivers as Geshe and Sebi are battling it out. No one didn't even see Martins coming, and he's right there looking for any mistakes they could make and overtake. Jai Fletcher now under a second away off his teammate, the Mercedes, having a strong performance. As Geshe only 3/10 away, Martins only 3/10 away from Geshe. It's a close battle for 4th place. DRS wide open for Geshe, for Martins. Martins almost looking down the inside on Geshe, too far away to do it, and they are not being able to catch up to Sebra Soraya. Sebi Debi. They have been close at DRS, but they haven't been able to get the move done yet. Will they be able to do it now as Geshe goes down the inside outside of Sebi, gets the move done. Martins got a better exit than Sebi, got DRS as well. He'll get past Sebi as the Alfa Romeo now drops down to 6th. Martins still only 4/10 off Geshi. Sebi 4/10 off, half a second off Martins. Still the battle for fourth going down. Jai Fletcher still slowly gaining on Andre. As we see, Bashful Cloud gaining on KCDB. He'll be looking to use DRS to get past. The battle for fourth still going on strong. Pedriel strongly in third, no one around him. As Martins went side by side with Geshi, got the move done. Important to note, Martins is on softs, Geshi's on the mediums, and Sebi is also on the mediums, so Martins should be having the speed advantage. As we see Faxon get the new fastest lap of the race. He had contact in the beginning of the lap with his fellow teammate Son Evan the Racing points, dropped down to 19th and 20th respectively, finds himself back in 9th, slowly climbing the grid. Good job to him. As Jai Fletcher is within 1 second of Andre. He's been slowly closing the gap. We've got 10 laps to go. We've got 10 laps to go to get the move done. He won't get it done now, down the inside, but he's got a lot of time left to do it. Skeshi, Sebi, still all very close, fighting for that fourth position. And now Jai Fletcher, Andre, half a second separates the two Mercedes. Looking a bit too much like real life for my liking. As they come through turn 9 and through turn 10, Jai will be looking to use DRS now to get that. Oh, as Jai spun out! Jai spun out, he's lost all his front wing, and again, he'll have to go through a whole lap with all of his front wing missing. Oh, what a shame. But that will leave a lot of time for the rest of the field to catch up and snag up that second podium position. As Jai Fletcher got disqualified! Jai Fletcher has gotten disqualified. Probably an issue with the game. And we have a virtual safety car. That's two drivers, Het and Jai, probably would have finished first and second. Well, should I say second and first, have both been DQ'd due to some game issues. And that is a big shame for Jai. As we see Andre, the fellow Mercedes man, 30 seconds ahead of Pedriel. Skeshi, 4/10 of Martins, would almost looking to make a move. Can't do it yet. As we see KCDB, Bash Cloud both getting past Faxland as he entered the pits. Sebi Debi lost quite a bit of time during the past few laps on Geshi and Martins. Geshi and Martins fighting it out for third now as Jai spun out, so they'll be fighting for the last podium place. With 8 laps to go. And Bashful Cloud going against KCDB, gets past KCDB. Wait, what? The game is going a bit cuckoo. As MLT and Bashful Cloud are indeed neck and neck. Keshi still 7/10 behind Martins. Not much. He hasn't been doing much lately. As Kengar enters the pits. And we still see the Ferrari of Bashful Cloud, the Renault of KCDB, 8th and 9th. We've got the Red Bull, I think that's the roof behind them. As Bashful Cloud gets past KCDB in turn 1. And that's a spun out McLaren. I think that's a spun out McLaren of B12 King. As KCDB looked first for just a tiny bit down the inside of Bashful Cloud, couldn't get the move done, but he'll be using DRS now on this main straight to try and get the move done. Can he get it done? I don't think Yeah, he has enough. He does have enough. As Bashful Cloud blocked right, KCTB goes left. He has to go around the outside. Bashful Cloud locks up, gives enough space and time for KCTB to get the move done. As we see, there's the lapped as well. There's the lapped car, seeing off the Rouge behind Bashful Cloud. KCTB a whole second away off Kenger. He'll be looking to close that gap, get 7th place. Sebi Dude slowly falling behind Geshi. And Geshi just trotting along his way, 7/10 off Martins. Martins has managed to gain 5 seconds on Paydrill, but it won't be enough to catch Paydrill. Sorry, my bad. Paydrill has catched 5 seconds on Andre, but it still just won't be enough to get the move done in 6 laps time. Geshi's actually slowly falling back, and you have to remember, Geshi's been DRS assisted for all the time he's been behind Martins, and he still can't get the move done. Take a look at the tires. I mean, their tires, sure, they're around the same like lifespan. As I say that, Geshi tries to go around the outside of Martins. I was gonna say their tire wear might be around the same, as the softs are on 8 laps, mediums on 10 laps. Obviously mediums have a longer lifespan, but let's grip as Geshi goes down the inside of Martins in turn 4. As Martins tries to keep it around the outside. Still out trying to keep it around the inside, trying to hold his position. Almost forces Geshi wide. They're still side by side. This is brilliant racing, no contact. This is exactly what the league is looking for. No contact, close, hard racing. But Geshi manages to get the move done on Martins, as they are so close. Penalties being thrown left, right and center. Sunef being the only driver on the grid along with Amir to not get a time penalty of some sort. It's Martins using DRS to manage to keep within Geshi, as Sebi Debi 2 seconds behind. KCTB slightly over a second behind Dude, and the rest of the field is just, well, they're just not very close apart, are they? 40 seconds splitting some drivers. And Martins, I don't think he managed to get DRS at the detection point as they round turn 4. The only battle going on right now, as I think KCTB manages to get past Adude, but the only reason being that Adude has pitted, and he is 47 seconds behind Sebi Debi. Puts himself in 6th. This is good for him though. He dropped to like 18th or something in the beginning due to some contact. I think he had a bit of a spin as well. So it's been a good comeback race for him. Martins managing to do really well for that Red Bull. Still under a second behind Geshi, so he still is DRS assisted, but those softs will be dying slowly and slowly, while he'll be looking to go to the end of the race. With those softs, he'll be losing grip, and Sebi Debi, who, if I'm not mistaken, is indeed on mediums, will start to have more grip than Sebi Debi towards the end of this race. Could be able to gain time on Martins. We might see a late move being done from Sebi, as Geshi now could possibly be slowly closing on Paydrill. There's 4 laps left, and he's 4.5 seconds behind. So if he wants to get the move down, he's gonna have to really step on it. Martins just slightly above, 1 second away from Geshi, which means he won't be getting DRS, and he'll start to trail further back, which will allow Sebi Debi to start to catch up. Dude looking to get a move down on Bashful Cloud for 7th place, both on softs. With DRS assisted, he manages to get the move down, but now Bashful Cloud will be looking to come back at Dude down this straight. With Bashful Cloud, I am rather confused what has happened here. Moving swiftly on, Martins, 8/10. away from third place. Away from Geshe. He wants to really nibble up that last podium place. As Geshe has made up a lot of time on Pedro. Maybe Pedro had a small spin or something, but sorry, that's my bad. Maybe Andre had a small spin or something, because Pedro 8 seconds away of Andre. This is a good 20 something seconds. Geshe though, still 4.5 more seconds behind Pedro. Martins under a second. So he's back within DRS. But still, he's gonna need to find an extra grip on these set of softs if he wants to get the move done, which is gonna be hard. As we see Martins getting past the back marker. But the grid has really now, for the most part, sorted itself out. Andre looking to win this race if he can keep it clean and keep it in one piece. Pedro in second, Geshe in third. Slight competition with Martins behind him, but he seems to slowly be getting away now that his tires have less wear than Martins. Sebi Debi still 2.3 seconds behind Martins, and he's got 2 laps to close that gap if he wants to get 4th place. As Jamie Robertson has retired from the session. Could he have crashed out? I wouldn't know, since the game was constantly giving me yellow flags. Which is a shame for Jamie. He's having a decent race, granted, we didn't see much from him, but a decent race nonetheless, the DNF. But there really isn't much to be seeing, as Andre now in the penultimate lap, he'll be looking to win the first ever TRL race. As his teammate Joy Fletcher was originally seeming like he was going to win, he got DQ'd. Het, seeming like he would have placed second, also DQ'd. Unfortunate for them, just some bad stuff from the game, in all honesty. Shouldn't have been DQ'd, but what can you do? As I think Sebi might have gained half a second on Martins, if that, but he's not going to make up 2 seconds in less than a lap. As we watch Andre now, he started the final lap of the race, as we see the Red Bull and Renault doing some fighting, but I think they're just back markers, honestly, because the game isn't showing that anyone's really having a fight, you know, with people being more than 3 seconds, 20 seconds apart, so just like back markers fighting each other. But we take a look at Andre, enjoying his race experience, coming up on Faxland in 10th. As long as Andre can keep it in one piece, not spin out, he'll be winning this race. Coming through the final few corners after 36 laps. Comes through turn 9, through turn 10 for one last time, through the back straight, opens the RS because there's the back marker, and wins the first ever TRL race here at Austria. Pedriel also coming across the line, about to at least, in second place, gets himself the second podium position as Martins fell far back from Geshe. Geshe gets a third podium place, Martins gets fourth, Sebi only managing to gain half a second. I was gonna say gets fifth, but due to all the time penalties, we have to, as we see, Sebi got himself the podium position from getting such little time penalties compared to Geshe. He put himself in third, Adude is in sixth, KCDB in seventh, Bashful Cloud in eighth, Kangar in ninth, Faxland in 10th, B12 King in 11th, Sonev is 12th, and it looks like Jamie Robertson, who DNF'd, will be getting 13th, unless Daru, Osha and Amir can get past him with the remaining 2 minutes. That was an intense, interesting race. Once again, I'd like to say Andre in the Mercedes, P1, Pedriel in second, Sebi in third, and Martins close behind Tageshi in fifth, to Tageshi placing fourth. Jamie Robertson still hanging on to 13th, as that's, you know, the only thing left going, as, you know, these drivers, these are the last three drivers still going on, because they were multiple laps down, apparently. An absolute madness of a race. With 30 seconds to go, I think Jamie Robertson's going to be able to hang on to 13th place, being DNF'd, having Daru, Rusher and Amir in 14th, 15th and 16th. DPS code, DNF'd along the way. Jai Fletcher, Headbull getting DQ'd for unfortunate reasons, mistakes by Codemasters. They were probably going to fight for podium positions, and Tan also apparently got DQ'd for some stupid stuff, and finishes in last place. A truly great drive from Geshi. Got ruined a couple of times, but he managed to hang it in till fourth. Didn't get the podium, but close enough. I would like, and yes, Sebi definitely I think is my driver of the day. He went from last to third. An insane race. As we see Andre dancing on the podium in first place. A truly great race, and this is what you can expect from TRL in the weeks to come. We'll be racing at 8 PM GMT on Sundays every week. This is the first race out of 10, and a truly interesting start. Thank you all for watching. This has been Turbo Kyle. As we see the time penalties, Faxon getting the fastest lap but not getting a point for it. This has been Turbo Kyle. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next week. Goodbye, and Godspeed.